Hello everybody and welcome to Castbender episode 69. This week we're going to be talking a little bit about behavior, king of characters, some stuff about Korra and deception, which was really interesting and brought up in the comments, and a few other awesome things.
Castbender Podcast is associated with Avatar The Legend of Korra Online.com and ComicRelated.com.
Hi everyone, welcome to Castbender for April 8th, 2014. You're here with your host, Tyrell, Lisson.
Hey everybody.
And Teagan, Chevrier. Unfortunately, AJ's not with us this week, but he will be back.
Yeah, the week before I had some family problems. This week AJ has some family issues to deal with. Our condolences to AJ and his family. And hopefully AJ's back next week for Castbender. We're right about to hit the thick of it with exams. So some stuff's going to be changing a little bit around Castbender actually, and just in time for exams and the end of the year. So to begin, we want to talk a little bit about some changes we're making with Castbender. Until Korra Book 3, Episode 1 comes on, we're going to be doing shorter episodes. We're going to be having a lot more interview type stuff and a lot more analysis rather than opinion. While things have changed a little bit in the community and people are kind of getting a little bit aggravated and a little bit lost because there hasn't been any new content, we're going to try to keep everything calm and cool here on Castbender. And we also want to reach out and apologize for anybody who feels offended by any comments that we've made. In the heat of the moment, everybody gets a little bit angry. And if anybody was offended by anything or any comment we've ever said, please let us know, and we will personally apologize to you. We try to be friends with everybody in the community, so that's just a general thing. We want to be friends with everybody, so if there's any hate or distaste towards us, let us know. We all want to be friends. But we're going to be talking about two things today. We're going to be talking about some comments made about Korra and deception, which was one of my favorite things ever brought up in discussion post-episode ever. And then we're also going to be talking about king of characters. I keep on saying kings, but king of characters, the contest that we're throwing right now. So, Teagan, do you want to talk a little bit about the inception of king of characters and what's kind of gone on so far?
Yeah, basically, we're in the thick of the off-season, as I'm sure you're aware. And we wanted to sort of come up with something fun and interactive that people in the fandom could get involved with to sort of fill up some time. And, it's something fun and it's something that you yourself can control. You get to vote for who your favorite character is, and it's all in your hands. I think that's something special.
Yeah, King of Characters, I really wanted to do, and we wanted to do as Castbender because there's nothing really going on, so we were like, let's put a bunch of characters against each other, Battle Royale style, and just let them go at it, Hunger Games style, and see who comes out on top. And it's interesting, we're going to have 64 characters. We already had the first round closed. It was very successful, and we're going to be having the second round, or the second round's right now, and will be tomorrow, closing tomorrow night when you guys hear this, and then the next round. So 2 days per round. And in the first round, we had Mako Cabbage Man. Cabbage Man won. We had Iroh versus Tonrak. Iroh won by a landslide. We had one of my favorite matchups, Longfang versus the Lieutenant. Longfang won. And we had Naga, the polar bear dog, versus Ty Lee. And Ty Lee won. So not necessarily surprising. Maybe the Mako Cabbage Man won. But these matchups weren't as compelling. We tried to make compelling matchups, but we also randomized for ultimate fairness. We didn't want to make it so certain characters got an unfair advantage necessarily. But this round, so far, we have Korra versus Amon, Katara versus Tarlok, Boomy versus Longshot, and Rava versus Earth King Kui. Korra's taking an early lead. Amon's catching up. Katara is poning Tarlok. I'm sorry, Tarlok. You're interesting in your own right, but Katara is definitely a fan favorite. Boomy is beating Longshot, and Rava is devastating the poor Earth King. And for those of you asking, oh, well, why would you put the Earth King against Rava again? Randomized. There are some compelling matchups. I'll tell you a little bit. I'll give you a hint. One matchup from next week. Let me pull it up. Which one am I going to reveal? Eska versus Desna. That's one of the 4 matchups of next week, brother versus sister. I thought that was quite compelling because essentially we're going to see which one you like better. I have a feeling Eska might win. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely Eska. Yeah.
More important because she was with Bolin.
Yeah, definitely more involved in the story and, well, just a easier character to like, I think.
Even though she's a bit crazy. But yeah.
That's why you love her, though.
Yeah, so this one ends on Tuesday, April 8th at 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, and then at 12 that night, the next round comes out. That will be round 3. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We want to thank everybody who's participated so far. We're getting a great turnout, and we want to give a special thanks to Kevel, of course, like always, and Avatar Central on Twitter for promoting this event and making it happen and all that stuff. So I've been working hard on it, and I've been enjoying it so far because I get to vote as well, and I get to see what everybody's voting for.
Just for those asking about when, their favorite character is going to be involved in the game, we'll just keep announcing more and more of the characters in these 4 battles every 2 days until all 64 characters are announced. And then we're going to be releasing a bracket so you can sort of see the bigger picture and who's going to be battling.
You can plan it out, who you predict to win. You guys can predict against each other if you want to. That might be fun. I don't know. Some people might get really mad. I don't know what's going to go on. I'm not going to make a bracket because it's unfair because I get to see. Because I've closed the voting down so nobody can see. Because we don't want people to be like, oh, this so-and-so is so far behind in votes. Go vote for them. We want it to be your actual fair representation of what you feel like the best character is. So we won't be making brackets because you can see all the votes. But there'll be a public bracket that you guys can do and everything like that. And I'll produce that in a bunch of different file formats so you can download it or whatnot or screenshot it, etc. But I also want to talk about it a little bit. I think we're going to make an annual thing. I think we're going to do it every year, especially in the off-season. And it's going to be long. 64 characters. That's going to take a while to get through. And we purposely made it that long because, not to be pessimistic, but we have no clue when this off-season is going to end. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a month. It could be 4 months. So we made it as long as possible because that way it can fill in some time, And I know it doesn't replace the show. But I think it's just a little bit more fun to have, especially when a lot of people are seeking for stuff to do. So this is a great example. I'd recommend maybe if you're a bit artistic, get together with a couple other Korra fans and write a comic or create a new theory. Crazy. I know AJ loves crazy conspiracy theories, so if you want to create one, he'll definitely toot your horn on that one.
Oh, God.
he'll have a great debate with you.
Yeah.
Discussion, whatever. He'll probably agree with you, so you guys can just joke around about why you think that crazy conspiracy theories. As well as we're going to continue to be doing other vlog content and stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, then you can find us online at youtube.com/castbinder. So yeah, we just want to thank everybody again for participating in the King of Characters. And as always, we've reached out to guests. We're going to be having potentially Andrew Slack, who created the Harry Potter Alliance and is a huge charity guy that I've followed for many years on the show. He's just started watching Avatar, so that'll be interesting. As well as we've emailed a bunch of different people from the cast of The Legend of Korra, and hopefully they respond back. And remember, we have Jean Yang coming on the show in June to talk about The Rift Part 2. I think that's everything we had to say. Yeah, we're sorry guys, no news. No news. It's been about a month since any new news, so hopefully soon. And I don't know what I want to hear next. Maybe I want to see if there's going to be any new characters next season. That's what I really want to see. At this point, last season we had an introduction of a couple new characters or some major plot points or animations that we saw that could really give us something to talk about. We've got a lot of pictures this offseason, but no new characters, no new confirmed plot things, really. But I don't know. I'm still fairly satisfied. I know some people are not satisfied, but I'm fairly satisfied with this offseason. What do you think, Teagan?
Yeah, I really want to see, a clear trailer. Because we had that leaked one from
Netherlands?
the Netherlands or wherever. So there's a trailer out there. I really want to see a clear one, because I think a trailer gives you a lot to talk about. Like, even with that leaked one, I think it was Kevel who took, like, screenshots of each still of one particular scene that was, like, 5 seconds long to try to figure out something. So I think that there's definitely a lot to talk about with a trailer. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, or Coronation. I know Coronation everybody enjoys. I want some interaction, some social media interaction, and hopefully we get that. And that potentially can come before they announce the series. Like, we're going to have to tweet so many times for them to unlock the pieces to build the puzzle, and then they finally announce Korra. And we can quickly talk about the one piece of controversial news, that whole Nick tweet about... what was I going to say? The whole Nick tweet about releasing book 3. We're going to be announcing it when it's coming out at 8:30 on this certain day, and then it got quickly deleted after. If I didn't see it firsthand, but I was retold, so if I'm a little bit shaky on the events, please let us know. But what do you think, Teagan? Do you think it's sick and twisted, or do you think Nick can do whatever the hell they want?
I think, honestly, it's just a rookie mistake. The guy...
Rookie mistake.
Yeah, rookie mistake. The guy or girl, whoever that posted that, obviously thought it would be a fairly obvious April Fool's joke.
No.
Where, they misinterpreted
Big time.
the level of
intensity
that the fandom has. So, rookie mistake.
Yeah, and, typically tension wouldn't be as high, but to be unaware of the tension within the community waiting for something to happen and then drop that bomb, even if I saw it on April Fool's Day, I probably wouldn't be fooled. I would actually probably be angry like a lot of other people, because I would know it's an obvious joke, and maybe I take it a bit too seriously like a lot of people, but it's kind of like, I really want this to happen, so why would you do that? But I think it's a massive troll, and I think that's why it got deleted.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people felt that rather than just being a general April Fool's joke, it was, kind of making fun of them in a way.
Yeah, and if that's the case, it's good it got deleted, because why make fun of one of your biggest fandoms, Korra being one of your flagship shows and everything? Just a bad decision, but I don't want to really focus on the negativity of the whole Nick thing. Again, everybody makes an honest mistake, and it was just happening in a bad time. If it had happened closer to the beginning, or maybe something, it would be all kind of like, oh, that sucks, but good jest.
Yeah.
Not really currently at this point, especially after 2 kind of major Nick type events with Nick up front and the Kids' Choice Awards, when we really received no information or anything of that sort. So again, sorry Nick, you got more flack with the community. Probably the last thing you want, or maybe you don't even care about, probably the latter, but unfortunately, most people didn't like it. But we're going to be talking about some great comments today, detailing the deception. Yes, deception. The word deception within Korra as a whole, as a series. And some people have accused us of only nitpicking and pointing out the negatives in the show, but I really think this is one of the key things that really makes Korra good. And it was brought up to me, and I never quite thought about it, or maybe not placed the word on it like this, deception. And it was brought up by, told us how to say his name or her name, Sibis. You're going to have to correct me again, sorry. But deception. And the comment started, one change the Korra series could do is to steer away from the deception angle, which has been overplayed in book 1 and 2. I've had enough of friends lying to each other and believe they're best buds. Maybe Korra and Asami can for once have a season without some lying to their faces. Now, this is interesting because I kind of like the deception, but I agree it might be a little bit overplayed. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen, season 1 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but from what I saw in that, anytime that, someone lied or whatever. It was kind of made up by the end of the episode. They apologized and they were back. And like Sid said, there was this focus on friendship. Whereas I don't know if there's this, I don't know, theme of deception in Korra due to it trying to be a more grown-up show.
Like the lying of teenage life and like, all that kind of shady stuff that teenagers tend to do.
Yeah. So in a way, I get it, but at the same time, like Sibis said, if they're friends, they're not gonna
do that.
Yeah. Like, you're hanging out with your friends. You're not gonna be constantly backstabbing. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me, Korra and Asami hanging out necessarily, because they've constantly kind of been, I don't know, hanging out with the same dude.
Yeah. We want to know what you guys think because it's an interesting thing because what we have here is two people who seem to have similar goals regardless of any kind of personal experience, and then it almost seems the relationship, it's kind of awkward to see on the screen. I almost cringe a little bit when I see them together because it just seems forced, and obviously the love triangle business and all that, and we've got a released image of them kind of training together, so maybe that's hope for less deception between their relationship, but it runs deeper than just Korra and Asami. Link said, yes, no more lying and backstabbing. Avatar The Last Airbender was about how your friends became your family, and why not keep this up then? I'm not really into watching girls bonding in shows, but god damn it, I want to see Korra and Asami become good friends. They are literally compatible to become such good friends. To hate each other for a liar and maybe I'm going to skip that word, is a wasted potential and a shame. And I think Link actually has some quite good comments here. Yeah, and you're right about Avatar The Last Airbender being about, friends becoming family. And I think that can also be translated into the community right now and how we have to really focus on being friends and family and being more positive with each other and less fighting. So I think this message, Korra as a series needs to get less deceptive. Everything, we just need to be a little bit more positive, and maybe some messages like that in the show will spark some more positivity everywhere in everybody's life. But again, another comment, lying and backstabbing are gone. Then Mako will have to go do something else with his bread and butter. Without lying and backstabbing, Korra will have less reason to get angry and run off on her own. So do you think, Teagan, that Mako is the instigator to all of this deception in the case of the Asami-Korra relationship?
Well, I don't think he's fully at fault because, both of the ladies are still involved. But at the same time, he is kind of the center of it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Then later, Sibis went on to continue constructing their argument and saying, in Book 2, there's been an increase in deception than Book 1 had. So we're getting more. Korra's past is summed up by living on a compound because of a lie by her father and mentor. Most of Korra's direction in Book 2, even to the very end, was manipulated by Unalak's deception, words, and the time he's able to have one-ups over her. The only time she had a chance to do something was when he had everything he wanted from her. And then in the very end, her portal decision chose. In the portal decision, she chose Unalak over Wan. So let's talk about that there. Some people, including us, we've given flack to Korra and maybe not necessarily been her biggest supporter. But maybe this is because she's actually never been really in control of her character, and maybe this is what people have been trying to say all along that we might not quite picked up on, all of us, and maybe this is actually it here, that she's never really been able to make her own decision, even when it's kind of set up that now she's free and she's the Avatar. She's still been controlled by a number of people.
Yeah, and it definitely control is a major theme we see in both Book 1 and Book 2. And Korra's kind of struggle with control. Because we see, Tenzin, who's trying to make her, just constantly practice. And at the same time, she likes practicing, her airbending, but at the same time, she wants to do pro bending. And there's kind of that tension there. And then it's mirrored again in Book 2. And I think it's kind of, relevant for the age that this is aimed for. It's for teens, where there's definitely, in that time of your life, struggle for control with your parents.
Right.
So I definitely think that that's a major theme in the show, yeah.
We're interested to think also, again, what do you guys think about this? Do you think now, if you haven't already kind of figured this out, or maybe we're late to the game, I'm not sure, that because Korra's never now, even at the end of book 2, really never made her own decision fully? Do you think this could, if she started making her own decisions fully, this could change? Or do you think that Korra does make her own decisions and ultimately she's not necessarily deceived by these quote-unquote mentors? Do you think Korra actually makes all these decisions herself? Because you could easily argue that.
Yeah.
Now, Sibis continues to say, what if Unalaq was right when he said that the Avatar wouldn't be the bridge between the two worlds? What if the Avatar 1 made the mistake when he closed the portals? What if humans and spirits weren't meant to live apart? Well, what do you think I should do? There's mention of chaos. Korra in the very end gave more weight to Unalaq's view over Wan's. That's very true. And then continued on, Book 2 seems to detract from Korra's intelligence, independence, and composure, and the judgment from the kind of decision at the end. I'm still left with doubts towards the very line Tenzin said to Korra being ready to act on her own. Another thing I would like to see change is this Korra's ass getting owned in Book 1 and 2 by the main antagonist, where she is reduced to lying on the ground at their feet. That's a pretty extreme statement, and I agree.
Yeah.
She, it's okay to lose sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to lose to be successful. But there might be some merit into not necessarily, because sometimes, like a lot of it, you rush into something and you don't think it out and you end up losing, and it's humiliating. So, continuing on here, it's the same major mistake by the two different enemies where they continue to let Korra draw breath while they believe she's harmless from then on. Korra's enemies are essentially pulling their punches compared to Avatar: The Last Airbender, where it's spelled out that Aang's enemies want his corpse to burn. That's true. And now Jack goes on to say, he joins in the argument. I agree. But, where was I? Korra should have annihilated, scorched, and smashed Unalaq in the Civil War episodes. If it was intended that she blew him out of reach, air tunnel effect, they should have shown more distance. Also, maybe Unavatu wanted Korra to witness the destruction. So, there's some good arguments here. Deception. That's a great thing to look at. That's a great theme to look at, I think. And we want to know what your thoughts are on deception. And maybe we can start some comments below. You guys can start some discussion about what do you feel. Do you think Korra has been deceived and that's why her actions are this way, and maybe why she's completely brash and stuff? Also, you have to look into the whole effect of her maybe being sheltered as a child, and that obviously that affects how she is. But now that she's more free, do you think she's actually free, or do you think she's really just being controlled by maybe Wan's ideologies, Unalaq's ideologies, Tenzin's thoughts, etc.? You know what I mean? What do you think, Teagan?
Well, I think that she's definitely being sort of, I don't know the word for it. She's not being controlled, and I think that she does make her own decisions. Yet, things of her past, Wan, past avatars, even though she doesn't have that connection anymore, and, Tenzin's presence, they definitely have sort of an impact on her and the decisions that she makes. And, sometimes she acts brash because she's being controlled by someone, and then she finally breaks away, and maybe she makes, a silly mistake, but she's still being influenced by the controlling figure. So I do think that she makes her own decisions, but she is still impacted by many, many factors. So it's kind of hard to say. She kind of, I don't know, lie in the middle with this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to really, before, and we'll talk about it next week, I don't want to complete my opinion until I hear what other people have to say, and then I'll make a comment on next week's episode once more people have more things to say, because, again, this is only two people kind of bringing in their opinions, and before I form mine, I want to hear some other people's opinions before I ultimately form mine. So it'll be interesting what everybody has to say about this deception theme, because we've never really talked about it on Castbender, so people really haven't commented about it that much, so it'll be interesting to see what everybody has to say. But again, I'd recommend, I might go back and watch some of these episodes to see exactly how the lines are stated and everything, but again, that's just another new theme, another new thing to talk about. I think there's always rewatchability with these episodes, and I think we can go back and actually read deep into it and find something new all the time, because everybody kind of watches shows differently. We don't all watch it the same, and that's the brilliance of it. So, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do for the discussion this week. Again, we're cutting the episodes a bit shorter until Korra returns, or we're doing an interview, and because exam schedule, it's busy. We have to study, unfortunately. Studying, school, learning, intelligence. Shit. 16 grand down the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make a poem. Let's do some slam poetry. We should change this to a poetry show, I think. About the depression of the school. And I don't know.
The system's got you down.
The system's got me down. You who go to university or have gone to university or about to go to university, you probably know our pain.
Yeah.
We're starving.
I feel like it's worse in the States, too. Because we have OSAP, so the government
gives
money. Give us money.
Our socialist government gives us money. It's great. Free money everywhere. But actually not free.
No.
So anyway, before we turn into a political podcast, we want to thank you guys for, again, voting in the King of Characters competition. Continue to do that. You can always vote. You get to vote once. There's a new round like every 2 days, so it's never dull. We want to know your comments about deception and everything. That would be great.
Yeah, this is something you can get involved in,
Yep.
You can control, and you're at the reins.
You tell them, Teagan.
Yeah, you listening? Yeah, that's right, you're at the reins.
It's like those commercials to go to those community college.
Yeah.
I got my life in order after I
Hey,
went
you
to...
sitting on the couch, procrastinating.
I have 2 kids. Oh no, we're probably offending somebody. But yeah, you guys can vote, and it's really awesome. And we want to see, essentially, this is a big consensus of who everybody's favorite character is. And once we start getting down to the line, matchups like Aang versus Iroh, or Korra versus Aang, or Zuko versus Azula, or whatever it ends up being, it'll ultimately be interesting to see which character wins, and who will be the first king or queen of characters. Ultimate Battle Royale. So I'm going to give you some contact information real quick. If you've heard this, you probably can exit out, but if you haven't, you can find us on castbender.ca. You can find out all our information there. You can get to the blog, Kevil's blog there. You can view all the episodes we've done. There's the About page with the staff information, the FAQ, the contact information, and the schedule. A link to the forums, a link to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/castbender. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/castbender. Did I say youtube.com/castbender?
Yeah.
It's youtube.com/castbender podcast.
Oh no.
Oh no. And then you can find you can find us on Twitter, where we're most active, twitter.com/castbender. You can go on iTunes, type in Castbender, Korra Podcast, anything of that sort. Find us. If you want to give us a review, please do that. The star is great. If you want to write out a review, that would be even better for us. Thank you very much for that. And if you want to donate, you can do that. There's a donate tab. You can do a one-time donation, and you get perks for all of that stuff during the different levels, or a monthly donation. You get all the perks for that too. You can go check that out. And I think that's most of the contact information for this week. But yeah, guys, we're keeping them short, and we hope everybody enjoys it. We want to see lots of discussion amongst you all, and then we'll comment on... I think we're going to stop talking about it and then just talk about it on the show.
Yeah,
I think we're
we'll
going to
see.
do a consensus of everybody's comments and just talk about everybody's comments instead.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be really cool. And then we're going to have some interviews. Can't confirm anything quite yet as date-wise, but just be prepared for some more interviews from your favorite members of Avatar and other awesome people that like Korra. So we'll see you guys next week, and we hope you have a great day.
Bye.
That was intimidating.
Good.
Oh, God.